Welcome. Today we are going to do a short practice, maybe not too short compared to what you usually do or what you usually don't, but we are going to focus on a asana, pranayama, kriya class that will help with the detoxification of the spring season accumulation. So if we just think about the spring, what it brings is the melting of the snow and the top of the mountains that are covered in snow will melt or ice, and then there'll be a lot of flow down the mountain. And if you just think about that yourself, there'll be a lot of grasses coming up, a lot of flowers, and a lot of people get colds and allergies in the spring season. And what we want to do with our physical practice and our mental practice is we want to cook those toxins, which are heavy, thick, liquid, cool, and we want to cook them. That's why I have the fire on. And we want to transform that so that we have a joyful spring. So, spring is the season of joy. In Sanskrit, the word is vasant for spring season. And so let's get started. Okay, so just close your eyes and think about these next 2 or 3 months, however, your locale will be in the spring season, how much longer. And just see yourself having joy, having a sense of lightness, a sense of ease in the respiratory system. And ease in your body and bodily movements, and a sense of lightness, detoxification, and openness to the beauty of spring. Chant with me one round of the sacred mantra Om. Inhale through your nose and think about blowing out the toxins. Inhale again passively, slowly. Exhale forcefully and quickly. Continuously exhale, exhale, exhale. You might even need to blow your nose. So, of course, you want to go at your own pace. If I'm going too fast, go a little slower. If I'm going too slow, find your rhythm. Keep going and try to make your face serene. Usually, when you throw the breath out as if you're blowing your nose, we crunch up the face and make lots of wrinkles. So, see if each time you exhale, that your face can get more and more open and serene, like a baby while sleeping. Exhale all the breath out. And then lion pose. We're going to flare our fingers like claws. We're going to stick our chest out, open like a lion's chest. We're going to stick our tongue out. We're going to roar. We're going to roll our eyeballs up to the third eye, all at the same time. Take an inhale. And this is just a great way to throw out toxins and to feel a sense of your own inner strength coming to the forefront. breathing in, breathing out. It's also a good way to purify speech impediments, and just wrong speech. So one more time, maybe twice more, lion pose. So I like to start by kind of pulling in. And then just rest for a moment. Just one of the most easy ways that some of us, myself, might have wrong speech is gossip, idle gossip, or just, joining in a conversation of where somebody is being discussed and everybody has a negative view about that person. So just think, this is purifying that. Inhale. Okay, great. And then just relax and come into neutral. And just see if you can actually feel that sense of transformation, a little bit of cooking. Okay, so one of the things that happens in the spring with this melting of the liquids in our own body is it lands in the respiratory system and it gets stuck there. So we're going to do a lot of chest openers. And one of my favorites is just to interlace the hands behind the lower back. Attempt to straighten your elbows. Now, I like to go down and put my hands on a surface. If the surface feels too far away behind you, take a block or a blanket and put them there. Now, pull your chest open from armpit to armpit. And then not only in the front of the body are you opening, but try to feel here, retrocardiac, behind the heart, engaging. Like that, those muscles are actually working to push the chest forward and open. And then just lift the chin as well and make some nice, deep, focused inhales. The exhale is there, but it's not nearly as important as trying to feel a ripple of inhale across the arms where they're clasped, the wrist, the elbows, the armpits, the whole frontal sternal area. And then release. And one more of the lion. Inhale. Okay. And then we're going to also open up the back body. So this is the retrocardiac or the thoracic area or the back rib cage. And especially if you've had COVID, if you've had long COVID, if you're having it now, this is so beneficial. So I'm really attempting to round the back side of my rib cage and open in between those ribs into the intercostals, into the pleural cavity. And I'm just staying here in a focused manner and trying to stretch open the ribs, the intercostals, tuck my chin. Okay, and then come neutral. Great. Now, one more. We're going to go sideways. So, of course, my rib cage, it's continuous all the way around. So we're going to take our right hand down. I'm going to mirror you. We're going to take our left arm over our head, and I'm going to push in that hand that's on the floor. And that pushing is contracting your right side, which is where your liver is, which is, great organ for detox. And it's opening the left side and the ribs and the intercostal spaces and the pleural cavity and the armpit, right? The axillary node. And the armpit is where we get the lymph flowing. And we're breathing in there. So the breathing should be smooth and it should be deep and it should have some power to it. or you should try to accumulate some power. Let's go to the other side. Now, I tend to enjoy on these slower initial stretches, sometimes closing the eyes to have this like a sense of inner vision, what I'm doing internally, how it feels if I'm pushing too much. Pushing and shoving is going to not help. So try to feel a sense of smooth, deep, strong, but not a push or a shove. And then come up. And then just see if you can feel, we stretched circumferentially around the whole rib cage. See if you can feel a sense of lightness or openness or decongesting there. Okay, now let's come on to our hands and knees. So I've got a lot of mats here. And this is a very common exercise that you'll see in many yoga classes because it's just so darn good. It's a whole spinal innervation. Here we have cow pose where we are in extension of the spine. I'm even going up into my neck and stretching my chin forward. The rear end is opening, widening, the pelvis is widening. And then you're going to do the opposite. You're going to round the spine. Now, we've already done these movements while we were seated, and you'll just see that not being seated, being on the hands and knees, we can get into such a deeper, fuller movement. So this is quite more active. The other were quite a little passive. And so you might need passive some days, and you might need active. Generally, we need both. Okay, so I'm not really doing the breathing because I'm talking, but the exhale is when you're rounding and your chin is tucked. And the inhale is where you're arching and your chin is stretching. And careful, like make sure you're pulling the shoulders back when you're arching. Okay, so now we're going to bring this into a breathing exercise and a physical exercise. The breathing exercise is called Bastrika, and it means the breath of the bellows, like fanning the fire. So I'm going to fan my own fire here. But we're really fanning our internal fire, that digestive fire, which is in every single cell, but a strong location is the stomach and the brain and the small intestine. And we're going to fan that fire and we're going to cook those toxins. So strong inhale, strong exhale with these movements. So it can be vigorous, so make sure you're ready. Strong inhale, arching. Strong exhale, round. Good. Now slow it down. Inhale. Okay. End in the inhale in the cow. Press and stretch open the fingers, and with a nice long slow breath, exhale into downward facing dog pose. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And now be really quite passive, like you're in the pose, but you just did such a vigorous activity that we don't need vigor right now. We actually need pose and repose, activity and a little passivity just to see the energies that you've initiated, activated. But of course, we're always breathing rhythmically, fully, as consciously as we can. Stretch the heels back, press the palms down and forward. Try to get a sense of that rib cage. And have you opened it? Is it open? Is there some kinks? Okay, now step into plank pose. And here we're going to do another breathing called breath of fire. So again, cooking those toxins. This is a quick inhale, a quick exhale. Okay, inhale, exhale, bend the knees. Now go back into that arched position, lift the chin, and try to do like a little, I guess this is considered a female push-up, but those words are kind of old fashioned. A fluid push-up, down, heart resting in between hands. I'm still arching my chest in the front of my body. I'm going to come forward, relax the neck, and then walk your forearms forward. And this is Sphinx pose. And the Sphinx, the main thing is that the elbow is right directly underneath the shoulder, a teeny bit in front of the shoulder. We don't want the elbow back here. Now use the forearms, press them down and pull. It's as if I'm pulling my rib cage off my hip cage. And if you do this, you will feel this incredibly wonderful stretch of your Mahashrotas. Mahashrotas means the great channel, and the great channel is the GI tract from the mouth to the anus, right? And that's what we put in our mouth and what goes through us and what feeds us, and it makes our body and it makes our thoughts. So that is really important, what we put in the mouth. And ideally, what comes out is unwanted, unused, digested, total refuse. Nothing, important to our system comes out when we go to the bathroom. Ideally, right? So this, oh, it feels so good, is stretching that midsection where there's so many important digestive organs. Okay, now come down, let your head rest, but put your palms as if you're going to do a backward push-up. But we're not. We're going to come into upward facing dog. Inhale, press the palms down, stretch the legs, open the chest, and then exhale, lift the hips up, downward facing dog again. And then walk the feet forward and bend the knees once the feet are forward and open your feet as wide as your hips. And then just let yourself hang. Again, a little bit of a passive pose after some good strong activity. If you're hanging and you're so low like me that the arms are dragged on the floor, you can hold onto your elbows. And then you can, rock a little bit side to side. And then slowly come on up to stand. Okay, and just look down and put your feet right underneath your hips and just stand like a mountain, Tadasana. Deep breath in, deep breath out. And Urdhva Tadasana. So Urdhva, anytime you hear that word Urdhva means up. And so I'm taking my arms up. This is upward facing mountain. It is going to start to help to cook, especially if you have respiratory issues in the spring. It's going to start to help alleviate that congestive area. Okay, now if you add rising up onto the balls of your feet, what are you adding? You're adding immense concentration, right? Not falling, rising up, balancing on the balls of your feet, exhale, slowly come down and let the arms come down. So those two things together, like opening up the lungs and concentrating like strongly, is going to alleviate the heavy, thick, liquid, melting, gooey, foggy substance of spring. and you're gonna cook it. Okay, let's keep cooking. Sun salutation. Stand at the front of your mat, bring your feet together. Salutation to the sun, salutation to the fire. Inhale. Lift, look up. Exhale. Fold. Inhale, extend legs, extend spine. And then we're going to start by pressing palms, bending knees, and stepping into plank pose. From plank, inhale, we're going to come into upward facing dog, pointing the toes, and trying to get a sense you're pulling the rib cage off the hip cage. Exhale, downward facing dog. 5 breaths here. If you can, look towards your navel. 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend the knees, look where you're going. Run, walk, or jump forward, straighten legs. Exhale, fold over legs. Inhale, rise back up to upward facing mountain. And exhale. Sometimes we call this equanimity pose. Inhale, let's do that again. A little bit of changing if you like. If you want to make it a little harder, this time jump back, pressing the palms and landing in plank pose, really opening the chest, lifting the chin slightly, and hovering like a push-up without collapsing. Inhale to upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And just remember, see if you can feel the desire to push or shove. And resist that desire. And just open to what is the strength of your breath. The determination that got you here is keeping you here. With your next exhale, bend your knees and look where you're going. Now you can walk, run, or you can jump. Your feet to your hands. Inhale, stretch legs and spine. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come on up. And exhale, land equanimity. Inhale, one more round. Exhale, fold. Listen to your inhale, unravel the spine. Listen to your exhale, take you back to plank. And if you want to, lower. You can even hover on the floor. You don't have to hover off. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Breathing in. Breathing out. As you inhale, take it into the ribs. And feel that the inhale is pushing those ribs out circumferentially. And then when you exhale, really feel like you're emptying everything out. Your navel presses a little bit backward. And you might kind of gently push the breath out fully. And one more of those breaths. Breathe into the rib cage, all the way around. Exhale, push the breath out, bend the knees, step, walk, run, or bend the knees and jump forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, land as a strong, capable mountain. Bend the knees, reach the arms out. Another type of sun salutation. Exhale, I hope you're feeling a little cooking. Inhale, extend. Exhale, step, walk, run, or jump. Hover if you want. Inhale. Exhale. Take the right foot forward, take the left heel slightly in and down. And make sure you have some stability, like you're pushing in the feet. Inhale as you rise up and stretch the arms, reach the ribcage open. Exhale, hands on the floor. Let's just push back to dog. Okay, left foot forward, right heel down, push the feet. This is called warrior one. Exhale, push back to dog. Inhale, come into plank and breath of fire. Inhale, exhale, knees down. Then again, I'm going to pre-arch, roll the shoulders back, fluidly move my heart to the earth. Inhale. Now we're going to add something we did at the beginning of the class. Take the hands back, interlace the fingers, and open up the chest. Breathing in, breathing out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Release the hands, place them just behind the rib cage. Roll top of your chest. Open, stretch the arms, press the feet. Exhale, tuck toes. And back into Adho Mukha Svanasana. A full breath. Full exhale. Bend the knees. Inhale. Step or jump. Exhale, fold. Now we're going to go back into bending the knees. Utkatasana. Lifting the arms. And push. Lower the arms. Pull the navel back. All on the exhale. Again, a little differently. First position, look up. Exhale, straighten the legs, fold. Inhale, extend legs and spine. Step, walk, run, or jump. This time, let's go down, hover. Upward facing. Downward facing. Right foot. In one inhale, Virabhadrasana, 1. Exhale. If you want to, hover. If that's too hard on your shoulders, just push into upward dog and downward dog. Left foot. In one inhale, warrior 1. Exhale. So I'm going to demonstrate. If you don't want to do chaturanga, just from this position, plank, inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Breathing in. 5 breaths, 1. Bending the knees. Inhale, step, walk, run, or jump. Exhale, fold. Bending the knees. Inhale. And exhale. Push to stand. Okay, let's open the legs nice and wide. And stretch the arms out to the side. And just kind of feel like that Michelangelo drawing of this perfect, united being, united with all things, in alignment with all things. And then let's go to the right and take triangle pose. So you're making many triangles here. Triangles, such a beautiful, so many analogies. Try to feel that you've done a little cooking and you're just kind of opening up to a more transformed, spacious you. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, second side. Woohoo! Don't fall. But sometimes it happens. Pick yourself back up. Take your time. Second side. So this pose in Sanskrit, Uttita Trikonasana. Uttita means extended. So you're really, everything is extending in all directions, but you're also simultaneously extending within yourself. Inhale, come on up. Now we're going to turn, and I'm going to change so you can see. We're going to face our right leg, and we're going to come down, and we're going to crisscross and take the same triangle pose, except we're crossing at the waistline. Now push into both feet and feel that your inhale takes you up and turns you to the second side, and your exhale takes you down. Now this cross that you feel, it's kind of the liver, the spleen, pancreas, the small intestine. There's a cross right there. And again, that's stimulating our ability to cook. And then use your leg strength, come on up, and step your feet back together. And relax, let go, expand. Step or jump a little wider, turning to the right. Now we're going to do very similar, but this is not called triangle, it's called side angle. It's not a triangle, it's an angle. And the angle is from your left fingertips to your left foot. And this right arm could be either on the elbow on the knee, hand on the block, or if you're strong and flexible, the palm can go behind the right foot. Good. Use those legs. Inhale. Come on up. Turn. Exhale. Second side. Exhale. Feel the earth. Inhale. Let the earth help you come up. Same thing like we did with the triangle. Let's twist the same pose. So you're going to bend your right knee. You're going to hook your left elbow. And this might be the full pose. Or you could even have it a little bit more passive by putting the back knee down. Okay, if that's easy, we can take the left palm to the floor, keep the back leg straight, and take the right arm over the ear and engage in the twist. If that's easy, we can take the back heel and turn it down. And then you really feel, wow, a twist through the spine, through the gut. 3, 4, 5. And your legs, come on up, other side. So again, you can start easy. Start with that knee on the floor. And don't judge yourself if this is not easy. It might be easy for me because I've been doing this 40 plus years, right? So never judge except if you're going to be positive about it. towards yourself. We just don't need any more self-criticism. If you knew how many people came to me and said, you know, Lisa, I just keep practicing self-sabotage. I mean, it's so sad, right? We've got to abandon these negative thoughts about ourselves. 5. Inhale. Come on up. And step back. Just see how you feel. Like you might feel a little sense of fatigue, but if you just relax, breathe, you might just feel like you're not really sure where your body is. You're just expanded. Okay, speaking of expansion, Prasarita Padottanasana, spread leg pose. Take the hands on your waist, roll the chest open, exhale, fold forward, take the hands between your feet, and exhale, try to take your head down. And you might have to fix that hairdo. Okay, so if not, if it doesn't come down, take it to a block. If it still doesn't come down, take that block up high. It's nice to get your head to touch. There's a sense of safety and serenity when the head touches a surface. Now here's a nice advanced trick. See if you could engage your quadriceps, inner, outer, middle, and see if you can relax your feet. So this tends to be the tension in one part of our leg, our whole leg gets tense. So that's a little more advanced practice. Inhale, halfway up, catch the waist, and come all the way up. Okay, let's try what we did in the beginning, in the middle, and now later on, catching the hands behind the back, and then coming forward into Prasarita Padottanasana, C. So my shoulders might open. If I get some warmth, I breathe deeply in there, and they start to come towards the floor. But again, try not to push, shove, jam the shoulders. And use your leg strength and come up. Nice variation here. Let's come forward and we're going to add a twist. So your left hand is going to reach underneath your right hand. And you're going to turn underneath your right shoulder. Your your right hand is forward. And you're just twisting underneath your right armpit. And the weight is on both feet. Great. Come back center, neutral. Take the opposite hand to the opposite ankle. Look underneath your left armpit. Inhale, come back neutral. Okay, so something that's fun is a headstand, and it's a little dangerous because it's a different setup. Your head, your hands are in a tripod, and you're just going to take your legs up, out, and over your head.
Now, don't do this unless you feel very confident. And then you might even have somebody spot you if you're not really sure. But being a little bit dangerous, taking the challenges, then you're going to return. In the springtime, it's good. It's kind of helps you cook. It helps you cook that sense of doubt in yourself. Okay, catch your waist, slowly rise up. You might be a little lightheaded, so step and find your equanimity in mountain pose. Okay, so let's try tree pose for the springtime. We're going to see all the trees getting covered in leaves and flowers and maybe insects and bees. And so we're going to get our own tree going here. So your right foot is pressing to your inner left groin. So your groin has a lot of lymph nodes. Your inner thigh is pressing into the foot as well as the foot. Now, concentration is needed. It's a balancing pose. So gaze at a point out in front of you. I'm gazing at a point about 8 feet in front of me on the floor. And I'm just going to hold my gaze there as I growing tree, reaching the arms up over the head. And then blossoming tree, reach the arms out. And then release. And go quickly to the other side if you feel like you can, right? If you're a little bit off kilter, you might want to just take a moment in mountain pose or equanimity, we call it both. And then second side when you feel ready. Pushing the thigh into the foot as well as the foot into the thigh. This glute, this leg that's bent, try to feel that glute squeezing into your hips. And then that same inner thigh releasing, the groin opening. And then when you're ready, if you're ready, growing tree. Blossoming. And then release it. Okay, let's do one more standing pose. So this is Garuda Asana or eagle pose. So we're taking our legs in a double cross. So the leg that is on the floor, bend that knee well. You can do your left leg first. And then you're going to take your right leg as high as you can and then cross it again. Okay, see if you can get your balance. Okay, then you're going to do the opposite arm on top. So if you have your right leg on top here, you're going to do your left arm, one cross and a double cross. And then you're going to lift your elbows. So that's going to stretch your shoulders. Take your hands away from your face, right? And then, as if you're on a cliff and you're looking for your prey, you squeeze everything in and forward and down. And then, boom, you release. Okay, woo! And then become still. Second side. So this initial leg really needs to bend a lot to get that full second cross. Don't worry if you can't get it, or if you're not stable enough to take this foot off the floor, you can always put this foot like so. But if you are stable, that concentration that these one leg balancing poses require will help you with the challenges that the spring season, it will kind of shake off that dullness and bring you towards the joy. Good. Squeeze, 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 and kick it out. Okay, great. Now we're going to just do a sun salutation into seated poses. So reach the arms, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, extend legs and spine. Step, walk, run, or jump. Hover. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. You know, a lot of people are not big on the jump throughs, but I'll show you a way to do it here that doesn't require as much skill as jumping through. So you're going to come up so the weight's really on your hands. Almost like you've decided like to try to handstand in the middle of the room. But then you're going to bend one knee, it doesn't matter which. And you're going to bring that knee into your chest and try to point that foot and pull it behind your opposite wrist. Now here's the trick. Keep your hips up and try to bring the other ankle behind the other wrist. Push the palms down, pull the knees up, and come through to sit. Okay, super. Let me adjust the screen so we can see each other. Well, I can't see you, obviously. Okay, so this is called staff pose. Just straighten your legs as much as you can and put your hand back there and try to feel like your torso is a staff and your legs are also a staff. You know, like a staff could be used to help somebody who's aging. It could be used to hurt somebody. So a weapon or a healing or a supplemental. Try to feel, of course, you know, what you want to use your staff for. Feel it vibrate. Breathe deep into the cells and the tissues and the bones and the blood of your staff. And then inhale, reach forward and catch your big toes. If you're not that flexible, catch your wherever you can catch. All right, another thing you can do is to put a belt around your feet. And then exhale, you're going to pull the belly back, round forward. Paschimottanasana. Stretching the western side of the back. That's the name of the pose. So traditionally, we practice as the sun is rising and we're facing the eastern direction. And so this would be my western side of my body would be stretching. And after some time, you might want to let the strap go and then just let the arms rest. Deep breath. Again, no worries if you're here or maybe your knees are bent and you're here. Listen to your breath and listen to the places in you that are tight, stiff, uncomfortable. and breathe that warmth into them. So the spring is warming up, right? We're going to use that warmth to clean out the gunk, the tightness, the sadness. Inhale, extend the spine. And then we're going to do a counter pose. A lot of times we do pose, counter pose. So this could either be tabletop with your knees bent and then push into a table-like form, or it could be eastern side of the body stretching. Purvottanasana. Try to squeeze the hips, press the palms, press the feet, breathe fully. Okay, great. Now, if you did, like I did, the Purvottanasana, let's come into the tabletop. If you did tabletop, let's do that tabletop again, but we're going to add breath of fire. So that's the quick inhale, exhale through the nose. So I'm going to push palms, feet, hips up. And exhale, come down. Great. Okay. Now, let's stretch out into Dandasana and bend the right knee, I'm mirroring you. And I'm going to turn my torso over the left leg. And I'm going to try to come straight over the left leg in Janu Shirshasana. Now I can feel that the right side of my spine is gone up and my left side is a little down. So I'm going to take my left hand outside my left knee and I'm going to push down and try to organize my torso so that it's coming straight forward. The right side of my chest, the left side of my chest are attempting to be equal over that left leg, which is really strongly holding forward bend, breathing into that. Now push down in that left leg so much that your torso gets light and come on up. And we're going to take that left leg out to the side and we're going to go into gate pose. So you're going to put your left hand down on the inside of your thigh, knee, or ankle and take your right arm up over the ear. Now, as I go down sideways, my hip will come up of the side that I'm stretching. So see if you can dissuade and put a little sinker on, in this case, it would be your right hip. Drive your right hip down. Now, my left hip is much lighter than my right, but I'm attempting to bring that right hip down. See, again, I'm just keep focusing on getting this rib cage to open. Inhale, come on up. And let's just change coming back through Dandasana. And you'll see there's so many areas that are open, and then there's like these areas that are closed because we only did one side. And it's kind of a beauty to notice that. Okay, like notice imbalance when we can fix it. We have like the tools right now to fix that imbalance. We're just going to do the other side. So now your right leg is straight, your left knee is bent, and coming over that right leg, breathing your way into the pose. If you feel that the rib cage has gotten a little askew, use your right hand outside your right leg and attempt to push and align the spine. Good. Use that right leg to push you up and then take that leg out to the side. Okay, this leg is just basically staying the same. I'm going to put my hand on the inside of my leg and stretch those ribs on the side, lateral stretch. And this is called, it's a version of Parigrasana gate pose. And inhale, come on up. And then bring both legs forward. And let's check and see if we feel some of the stagnation has released. Okay, cross the ankles and grab hold of your feet and pull them slightly backward, almost like you're sitting on your feet. Put your hands right in front of that and then try to push and lift everything up to step or jump the legs and hover chaturanga and come all the way to the floor. Okay, back to Sphinx pose. So forearms pressing and try to draw the triceps backward to open the chest and pull the rib cage off the hip cage. So when you're doing a yoga practice, it's kind of nice to keep revisiting certain poses. Like we've done this, I think this might be our third time. And so it's not to do it the same exact we did it the first and the second. It's to investigate, like on a deeper level. Now, how do I feel? Now, can I pull the rib cage off the hip cage and blossom little flowers out of the armpits? I mean, who thought that a flower could blossom in an armpit? Pull the upper arm bones back. Try to feel that puffy armpit opening. Okay, wonderful. And release. Now keep your head down and just stretch your legs back together and lift your left leg. Let's start left. Lift your left leg up and straight. And so it's a real groin, for me, it's a groin stimulation. I can feel that in my inner left groin. And then come down. And then, so armpits and groins, right? Those are some major lymphatic channels, detox areas that we can stimulate, and we are stimulating with our asanas. Okay, now stretch both up. Take your hands behind your head and lift the elbows up. This is a form of Shalabhasana or boat pose. Lift, lift, breathe, and release. And then take the hands back, roll the shoulders as far off the earth and away from your ears. And then peel up into upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, just like in the beginning when we first entered this pose, I said, don't push, don't shove, just experience it. Try to do the same. Like, we're always trying to get somewhere, it feels like. And so a lot of times, just being in the asana, breathing, is plenty. It's plenty of work. And it's the alchemy. It will happen. It will transform you. If you push and shove the whole time, okay, let's come to our knees. Um, you might not feel that bliss that we can so often. Okay, camel pose. Again, stretching open the chest. I'm going to give myself some ease by bringing blocks right outside my ankles. I'm going to be on my shins, squeeze the glutes, roll the chest open, and let's lift our armpit flesh with our thumbs as we arch back and place our palms on the box or our feet or our ankles or the floor, and squeeze the back thoracic muscles and lift the chest skyward. Now, as if you're growing a rose right from the center of your chest, lift up and come out of the pose. Okay, now release these. If there's any pain in your back, then just do this. Just hold on to your waist, squeeze your glutes, and hinge back and come up, okay? If you feel great, no pain, let's try it again. Hinge, but this time, palms on the feet and arch the chest open. Try to designate your cervical to the thoracic spine and arch it from behind. And inhale, come on up, come on up. Okay, take the hands down, step back, come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lengthen, take your tailbone away from your occiput. Let your head hang. And then we're going to step through again, maybe the opposite foot, knees up, pull through, stretch the legs, lie down. Okay, just bridge pose, stretching, let's see if you can see me, the whole length of your spine, the length of your legs, the length of your feet, ankles, toes, arms, elbows, wrists, fingers. Stretch the whole spine, legs, everything. And this is like you're lining yourself out like a bridge for people to cross over. Okay, this is my favorite bridge. It's kind of the simplest, right? Okay, then we're going to do bridge number 2. This is also not terribly hard. You're going to bend your knees, press your hips. If you want to clasp your hands or your ankles, and take again the thoracic spine between your shoulder blades and squeeze it forward so that your chest pops up and open like a balloon. Squeeze the glutes as well, push the feet as well. Feel the bridge for others to cross and come down. Okay, now another bridge. This one is called actually upward facing bow. So sometimes it's called bridge, sometimes it's called upward facing bow, but it's got that word urdhva. So urdhva is going to help decongest the phlegm from the spring season. I'm going to preset my heart. I'm going to open it, and then I'm going to follow through with hips, arm strength, foot strength, and press up and make a nice arch that can be a passageway for someone into a brighter existence. Specifically, yourself. Notice the difference between pushing and shoving, and then holding with a sense of love, determination, and then carefully come on down. If you're feeling any pain in your back, you can just wiggle. I mean, it's not really a wiggle, it's a sway. Sway your knees inward and outward. And do it rhythmically. Feel your breath. And over some short period of time, your back should release. Should, we don't try to use that word, it could release. Okay, last one. Now this is for, people with a strong neck who practice headstand. I love this bridge. Instead of coming all the way up, you're going to just slide the crown of your head to the floor, reach back, grab hold of the ankles, and then open the chest, the gut, the pelvis. And I'm kind of rocking a little bit on the sagittal line of my skull, right? And then come down. That sagittal line or the mohawk line is where we have a lot of beautiful pressure points that can stimulate the best bliss our body has to get. Now, you're going to just do that rhythmic movement, but you're going to come and try to bring your knees all the way as far as they'll go. Maybe touching or actually touching the floor. And then come center and reach your hands for your knees so that your arms are straight. And your feet will probably have to come off the floor. And then with your exhale, you're going to pull your knees towards your armpits. And this is called Upana Asana. Upana is downward moving wind. So one of the ways we get sick is by suppressing wind or pushing or shoving wind. So in this way, you might feel some gas coming out, and that's an excellent thing. We also call this wind victory pose. And it's one of the simplest and most profound asanas for your physical health, for your connection to the earth, for your colon health and safety that you can find. Now, reach your arms and lift your head and come on up to sit. Okay. Now, to finish, we're going to do your choice of inversion, or since you're watching me, you can do the one that I'm going to do, which is shoulder stand. So it's nice if you're not on your menstrual cycle to have an inversion daily. I like to have 2 or 3 inversions. And this one is called Salamba Sarvangasana. I'm using a blanket because I have a long neck that's very flexible and I have a little bit stiff upper back and shoulders. So this prevents overstrain on a vertebra that it shouldn't be strained. right? Specifically the seventh cervical vertebra. We don't really want that vertebra to be strained or even touching the floor. So you're lifting your legs over your head, pressing your palms on your back, taking your legs up. We call it shoulder stand. But in Sanskrit, it translates as with support, sa alamba. Sarva, all, anga, limbs, asana, pose, with support, all limbs pose. Okay, slowly bring your legs towards your head, release your arms, and roll the spine down. Bend your knees, cross your ankles, and hold on to your feet, and let your knees come forward and come into Matsyasana, fish pose. Press your elbows, lift your chest. You can do other things with your legs. The legs could be straight. The legs could be in the air. The legs could be in lotus pose. Any of those legs. The arch of the chest, like a fish jumping out of the water, and the curve it makes as it jumps back in is your focus of the pose. All right, and then release and unwind. Just pause for a moment. Roll onto your right side. Come on up to sit. Cross the legs. And just close your eyes for a moment and feel all these things coming off your spine, right? Like there's the nervous system. See if you can just feel the subtlety of the nervous system. There's the blood being pumped by the heart. Maybe you're breathing a little bit heavily. I know I am. Maybe you can actually feel the blood pumping into the parts. Or there's the venous return, right? The lymph coming back. Muscles, bones, organs. And then to feel all this, right, there's consciousness. You are that consciousness, recognizing all these parts and pieces, not being the parts and pieces, but being the thing that sees it all. Take a nice deep inhale. Oh. word Shanti, which means peace. Let's dedicate all this challenging, hard, fun labor that we've done towards all beings having a beautiful spring season. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I'm wishing you a beautiful, healthy spring, happy, joyful spring. So now let's everybody take rest in corpse pose, and you can take rest for as long as you want. And then I'm just going to turn off, and this will be the end of our time together. And when you're finished, enjoy your day.